My phone just said something weird. It said your stream just ended. Would you like to start a new one? No. And how did it end when I just started it? Okay, am I live? Am I here? My phone's showing I am. Hi, Patty. I see a red live on my screen right there. I've got my laptop going. It's down here. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do. I am. Okay, hi. I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I gotta have my laptop so I can see your comments. But then it makes it look like I'm looking down all the time. Like I don't care to look at you guys, and I do. So whoa, you're gonna hopefully not get seasick. Let me see what I can do about this. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. Okay. Oh, I need to shut the bedroom door. Watch out. Okay. Patty, I have a pile of stuff for you. Ooh, you're making tea. I hope iced, because my assumption is if it's warm there, it is, or if it's warm here, it's warm there. I had 1 cup of hot coffee this morning and I was like, oh, I'm getting too warm already. Although I have to say, it is not supposed to be in the upper 90s today at my house. It is actually supposed to be more like in the 80s. Like, I think it said upper 80s, but I'll take it. Way better. Way better. So, I think I'm just a couple minutes early. I have no clock in front of me. Where did my clock go? It was on the phone. It told me what time it is. And it was on my computer. And now that's gone too. Oh my. It's okay. So, what are we going to need today? We're going to need our Proverbs study guide. And we're going to need our Bible. You know, I think what I'm going to do, since it looks like it's just Patty and I here so far, I want to run and grab. I did order, last week we talked about jumping into the Psalms for Life study that Sherry Wagner did, and I ordered the book. Let me go grab that. But as people come in, say hi. Haha, now all the dogs are out. I got it. I got it. Okay. I got my reading glasses too, just in case I need them. Oh, Kiki's here. Hi, Kiki. So it looks like it's Patty and Kiki and me. Anybody else here? I don't know, Kiki, Patty, did you know that Margie at Margie's Crafty Corner actually got her back surgery? And she had done, I think it was a couple days ago, she said she was in recovery, doing well. That's all I know for now. So, what does the new study Psalms for Life look like? Oh, it's backwards. I always forget it's backwards for you guys. But isn't that pretty? I don't think that's lavender. It looks like a wild flower. But anyway, if you order this, you're going to notice on the front it says a New Thing 12-month memorization devotional. Okay. So I want you to know that when we got off our video last Wednesday, our Wisdom Wednesday, I went ahead and called the author and I talked to her about, hey, can this study be done in not a 1-year study? You know how we always ask what's bringing you joy at the beginning? I am asking you that now. Feel free to type it in. But I want to tell you, this brought me such great joy. Check this out, you guys. You know what she said to me? Dawn, I'm going to be leading this study at our church with 150 women in the fall. Are you serious? You were thinking about doing that? I said, yeah, but I just needed to know, can it be done? because we don't want to do a whole year. She's like, yes, it can. And she gave me all kinds of options. Anyway, I let her know that Patty actually lives in Arizona with her. She gave me all kinds of information. If any of you going through the study are in Arizona, be sure to let me know. Because the author lives, Sherry Wagner lives in Arizona. She has some great ideas for some Bible-based churches, non-denominational, you know what I mean? She has some great women's events in different areas, Phoenix, Tucson, different. Trish is here. Hi, Trish. I was just showing, I ordered the Psalms for Life and was telling that when we got off last week that my joy is, I talked to the author. Not only can, yes, this be done as a study like we're doing, it doesn't have to be a whole year like this says it is, but the author is actually starting the exact same study in the fall. She's teaching 150 women this. So ladies, this is our next study. When you get it, just, kind of read the introduction and beginning, kind of maybe peruse through it. But know this, we won't be memorizing all these Bible verses because we're not doing it in a year. We're condensing it. And also know this, even though we're condensing it, it is a ton less homework than the Proverbs study. So it's one of those where if you only have a few minutes every day, that'll be fine. But if you want to take more time, that's fine too. So that's my joy. I found it so cool that she's going to do it, and we were talking about doing it. Anyway, I have a secret to tell you. She is actually going to be starting it a couple weeks before we will. We're planning that on purpose. Here's why. She's got a team underneath her, or with her, whatever. And they're going to record her teachings for us. So then what we can do is I can either hit play and we can listen to her, together, or I can send it to each of you. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. That's in the works. But I thought I'd let you know. So this Psalms for Life is $15. We have purchased one that has gone to someone, and it's anonymous. I can't tell who, but somebody that otherwise would not be able to have this book. That was from some donations last Wednesday, and then I just put in the rest from my For Grace Creations over on Facebook, my earring group, where we do some drops. What I mean is typically Friday and Saturday, I'll take pictures of new earrings that I've made, and I drop them. I post them in the group and people can buy them. So I then take the money from that and I put it into, it's like a blessings fund, to use for things like buying these study guides, or, say there's a family we heard of that has no food. We just anonymously get them a food box or a gift card I try and make it anonymous. Sometimes I can't. I've even tried to drop something off on someone local's doorstep who I knew. I was trying to be sneaky, and I rang the doorbell and ran. You guys, that's so fun as an adult. Too bad there's such a thing as a Ring camera. Oh yeah, as I'm running away, I'm getting text messages. Dawn, I saw you. You were on my camera. Just be aware. That's a thing now. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know we have cameras all over our property, but it's not the one, right at the doorbell. Anyway, what's bringing you joy, guys? That's my question right now. What's bringing you joy? If I had not had that fun conversation with Sherry, I probably would really be having a hard time figuring out my joy today, other than, maybe it's that it's, only going to be 80 something instead of upper 90s today. That's great because I get too hot. But I've had a rough couple days. It's been weird. Trish, my joy today is sunny days with my dogs. Yes. Ooh, and Patty gets to pick her son up at the airport today. He's been gone in another country. Like, wow. So, yeah, that's a joy. What time? When do you get to go get him? Kiki, what's your joy today? Did I miss it? Let me go back up. No, I didn't. Kiki, do you notice that in the scrolling up in the comments, Patty's making tea? That's a Kiki thing. Well, it's Patty thing too. But again, Patty, were you making iced tea? And what is in everybody's cup today? Kiki, it's been a tough few days, but I'm glad to be here. Yeah. So I have to tell you something. Deciding to go out of my comfort zone and be here with you guys and go through this Proverbs study with you, that's a feat in itself, right? Okay. But let me tell you this. Do not be surprised, and I've said this before, if when you are digging into God's word, or you are trying to seek to hear God's voice the loudest in your life, or you're trying to be wise, anything that has to do with a relationship with the Lord, or maybe you're trying to, you have a friend and you're trying to get together with that friend to build each other up in things that have to do with the Lord, the enemy's going to attack. If you were not doing things of faith to grow closer to the Lord, the enemy will attack someone else. So if you're not being attacked, maybe ask yourself why, first of all. That's a hard one. But also know this. It came to my realization when speaking with a friend this morning. Oh, the last couple of days have been hard because I've been being attacked. Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to be here today. It's tough. There are tough things. And I thought, no, I can't do that. Even if you're behind in the homework, even if you haven't picked up your Bible all week, even if you have and you don't understand, or what you read pissed you off, or you are frustrated with it, you know what I mean? Show up anyway. Because, I mean, how many, I'm looking at the comments now. Mariah already knows this. Oh, Patty, that's right. She's not feeling good. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, she went on a fun vacation with her hubby and got sick. Not good. So hot tea is good. Mariah already knows. I confessed. Here's what happened. It was just people are mean. I swear to you, ever since 2020, it's like the mean people came out of the woodwork. People who were hiding their meanness are now willingly, openly mean. And yesterday, I was on the verge of tears. I wanted to hide under my bed and cry. Sometimes I don't understand why people are so mean to me when I've been going out of my way to try and be nice, and I'm not perfect. I get that. But anyway, I thought, okay, I'm going to jump on YouTube and maybe there's something, and instantly, what pops up? PM Artist Studios Live. And it was almost like this breath of fresh air. Fighting that feeling of crying went away. And it was a reminder to me that I know, y'all are not mean, right? Okay. But my brain went to nobody likes me, everybody hates me, guess I'll go eat worms, and I stayed in that. What happened was just being in that chat and seeing what was going on screen, and it was like this reminder that, you know what? I'm believing the lies in my head that everybody's mean. It must be something wrong with me, right? It brought me joy. It was like I realized that there are people in my life that I may not be able to reach out and touch you and hug you, but there are people like all of you in my life that are kind. We can disagree on things. We can have our own opinions, our own everything. And guess what? We can still hang out enjoy each other's presence, encourage each other, bring each other warm fuzzies. And I realized it's like I didn't even realize that PM Artist Studio was that for me. All of you are that for me. Isn't that weird? Like I knew, but it wasn't, it was like it hit me with a 2x4 in the head. Like, how did I forget so easily? Patty says, I keep remembering that Patricia said, don't negative self-talk because it's a spiral. And oh, it is. Oh, it is. So that's why I always start this with asking you what's bringing you joy, because the more we focus on our the things we're thankful for, our blessings, the things we're grateful for, the things that give us warm, happy feelings and our fuzzy feelings and the things that bring us joy, whether it's, just a moment, a fleeting moment of joy, or if it's all day, or if it's something deep that lasts. We need to be counting our blessings and looking for the good. Otherwise, that spiral, that negativity in, I don't have this, or I want that, and why can't I this, and why is this happening to me? That it gets worse and worse, and you dig a hole for yourself. And once you're in that hole, it's hard to get out. Just saying. So, bringing you joy. Okay, hold on. Kiki says I have my blackberry citrus tea. Iced or hot, Kiki? And Patty gets to pick her son up at 7:30. But yeah, there's delays. There's always dumb delays. Phoenix Airport, I assume? I don't know. But you know what? Mariah is here. So let's ask Mariah, what is bringing you joy lately? This week, today, whatever. Patty plus Eddie's form of crazy brings joy to everyone. Yes, and Nightbot. Yeah, that too. Tucson Airport. Gotcha. Okay. Patty. Okay. Yeah, letting Eddie know that'll bring him joy. Yeah. I don't know how to use all the technology things. I'm recording on my phone. I've got my laptop here so I can see comments. I don't know how to do anything else. So I don't have Nightbot. But if I could add a Nightbot and I could program it to say funny things or do funny things like over on PMR Studios Live, I would. Just saying. Oh. Mariah says, y'all keep showing up and that brings me/us joy. Yeah, I think that we all just show up. Yeah. Yep. Patty, I can't even manage a live. Oh, don't. Does it look like I know how to manage a live? I don't. Like, on my phone, I'm getting text messages. I don't know how to make those stop. I tried once. And you know what happened? Y'all couldn't hear me. This is... When I can figure out a little bit, we'll just stick to that. I don't need to figure out anything else. The other day, I went to record a wee little video. I've got all kinds of crap here. I learned how to do something and I wanted to show y'all. I got it 5 minutes into recording and guess what? My phone shut off. And you know what it told me? You don't have enough storage for this baloney Joe. Huh? I've recorded a 29-minute video before. Why not 5 minutes? Come to find out, something about my phone needed to update all of its settings and iOS something. I don't know. Because once I let it do that, yeah, it let me record. Anyway. Mariah, please go back to our very first lives. It was not pretty. Y'all, I think we need to do that. Mariah, do you have a way to, I'm sure that you do, and I just don't know how to do it. Do you have a way to go to one of those and put the link here so that then when this video's over, we can all just click it and go watch? Anyway, Egyptian licorice tea. I've never tried that. Huh. Yeah. Okay, so I told you guys that week 7, day 2 could be hard. As a matter of fact, as far as I know, it is hard for most people. Not gonna lie. It's like, it almost, you want to skip it because it's frustrating that it's... But I actually found something I want to read to you. Did you know that there is an actual thing called Proverbs 31 Ministry? It randomly showed up. And there's this gal, Lisa Turkhurst. She's like an author. I've heard of her, didn't know she is the president of this Proverbs 31 Ministry. She actually has a blurb on it, because I guess this being hard is a thing. So I'm actually I printed it out. I'm going to read it to you because I don't want to mess it up, but I think she hits the nail on the head. Okay. And there's some fun information in here that I didn't know about. Okay. So Lisa says, do you ever find yourself feeling like you don't measure up because of what you've been through? She says, me too. She says, I remember when I first read Proverbs 31, which describes a woman of noble character, many years ago as a wife and mom. I was young. I thought Proverbs 31 woman was overwhelmingly perfect. There was no way that I could be that. And as I've walked through my hardship in my life over the last couple years, I found myself not just intimidated by Proverbs 31, but defeated by all these qualities the woman she had that I clearly don't. I mean, if you read it, there's all these qualities, and I can almost guarantee you that you and I can find at least one of those qualities that we don't have, we will never have, right? She says, that's why my heart feels especially tender towards those of you who would rather skip over Proverbs 31. I know what it's like to have these words sit heavy on your heart with a resounding declaration of, I'm not good enough. My life looks nothing like hers. But what if I told you the heart behind Proverbs 31 is one of celebration, not condemnation. It's not a checklist of who to be. These are my own words. It's not a checklist of what you have to do and what you have to be and all those things. It's a celebration over you. She says, the first thing I want to take note of is this. It's not just a chapter about a wife of noble character. It's a chapter about a woman of valor, a courageous woman, a woman of strength and dignity. And the fact that we're here, and we're reading this, seeking God, pursuing healing for painful circumstances, wanting to hear God's voice, hanging out together in his word, it's evidence that you are a woman of valor, courage, strength, and dignity, whether you feel like it or think it or not. So Proverbs 31 actually is for you and me. Did you know, and this is cool, this is really cool, did you know in the Jewish culture, these verses, Proverbs 31, 10 through 31, this is so cool. These verses are read out loud on their Sabbath day, okay, as a celebration over all women. This is in no way condemning what they aren't, but celebrating how they, in their own unique expressions, live out the virtues detailed in this chapter. Isn't that the way it should be? Stop and think about this. As a community of mixed media artists, junk journals, whatever we do, we celebrate each other. We learn from each other, right? In my opinion, women need to do that more often. Encourage, uplift, help each other out more. I think as a society, we, as women, we tend to not do that. And that's one of the things I really love about, for instance, Patricia and Mariah. Everybody, you know, we all have our own things that we're good at, we enjoy, we can teach each other, and we still hang out. Because just because you don't like pink, I think the word is stinky pink, which I don't have any of and I really want. But just because you don't like pink, it doesn't mean that we can't be friends, because my favorite color is pink. All the pinks. Give me all the pinks. And then the purples. You may not like any pink or any purple, but guess what? We can encourage each other. You may not like my art. You may be like, that is not art. Oh boy. It's okay. Not a big deal. So, this is Lisa talking again. Courageous women celebrating each other, and those they love celebrating them. All under the banner of honoring God, serving out of love, and smiling at the future. That's the heartbeat behind what the Proverbs 31 ministry does. But she says this, I also love how Proverbs 31:30 reminds us of what is truly worth celebrating. Okay, charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Notice it's not the woman with the spotless house, right? It's not the mom with perfectly behaved children who never skips pages when reading books to them. Honestly, it's not even just for a woman who's married and has children. It's a woman who fears the Lord who's to be praised. And this is not a fear like I'm afraid of God, like you're scared. No, this type of fear is referring to having a heart completely in awe and wonder of God. It describes a woman who honors God by seeking him in everything she does, and trusting him wholeheartedly with her life. What if we speak, I'm still reading her words, what if we speak these words over ourselves and other women in our lives as a form of celebration, instead of internally thinking it's condemnation, and realizing that each of our stories is different, and each of us have different strengths and different qualities that if we come together, we could actually help each other out. And as a group of women together, we are then all of these things, right? Because we each have a different strength, a different weakness. And by coming together and helping each other out, it's like we're making one whole. Can you imagine if my whole body was our all eyeballs? Number one, that'd be ugly. Number two, squishy mess. And number three, I couldn't hear, I couldn't eat, I couldn't talk. None of that. I need different body parts to be one whole. Well, we need each other who are different to come together to make a whole. Yeah, eyeballs are gross. Yes. Yeah. So I want you really quick. This is not in our homework. I don't know if you have it or not, but if you've got your Bible, turn to 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 8. I want to just show you something here. This is cool. And it kind of goes along with how our thoughts work when we see this Proverbs 31 woman thing. Okay. I'm sure you've heard of 1 Corinthians 13 as the love chapter. It's often read at weddings, right? But listen to this. Okay. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. The list goes on. Have you guys heard that list before? Okay. What if we took and put your name or my name in it, right? How would that look? How would that read? Okay, watch this. Dawn is patient. Dawn is kind. Dawn does not envy. Well, we can stop right there. My name doesn't work. Okay, maybe we'll put Patty. Patty's patient. Patty's kind. Patty doesn't envy. Patty doesn't boast. Patty's not proud. Patty does not dishonor others and is not self-seeking. Patty's not easily angered. Oh! Maybe Patty's easily angered and we have to stop there with her. Okay, so that's going to be it with all of us. We're going to read this and we're going to see we fall short. But let's put Jesus' name in there. because he is each and every one of these things. Jesus doesn't dishonor others. He's not easily angered. Jesus keeps no record of wrongs. Jesus always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Jesus never fails. So when we come across things that we... Oh, bye, Mariah. Thanks for showing up for a few minutes. Sorry we talked about eyeballs. But what if we... What if we thought of these things that we come across and we feel icky because we feel like we're not this, and it makes us feel like not enough and not. What if we stop and remember that, oh, that's exactly right. The only one who is Jesus. We want to be like him. We want to follow in his footsteps. We want to grow as people. We want to be wise, but we are not perfect. So, but because Jesus is, God looks at us as that. So we can celebrate that we are who we are, and we are trying to be the wise, not the fool and not the wicked. So when we put Jesus's name in that chapter, I don't know about you, but it's beautiful. To me, when my name's in it, it's icky because I know I fall short. But Jesus doesn't. He never will. And I loved that. So with Lisa's thing, my little thing there, let's jump in to Proverbs 31. Let me set my Bible aside here. Proverbs 31. Let's start at the beginning. The words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. An oracle, it's wise advice. So let's stop right there. This is this guy who he's never in the rest of the Bible. Some scholars think it could be referring to kind of like a nickname of King Solomon, because it was written right about the time of King Solomon. But that we're just going to leave that alone, because we don't know 100%. What we know is this is a guy who is telling all of us what his mama taught him. It's an oracle, which is wise advice. So, number one, a boy listened to his mom's advice when he was younger. That is fantastic. So, hear me out. If you're a mom and you have kids, whether it's a boy or girl, and you feel like they don't listen to your wise advice, okay? Just know you're planting a seed, and you never know when they're older and grown up what they're going to remember that you told them. Now, here's a question. If you have children and you're going to give them advice, are you going to purposely give them bad advice? I don't think so. I think as parents, we try and give our kids good advice. We want them to learn from our mistakes, and not, fail in the ways we've failed. We want what's 100% best for our kids. Would you agree? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Okay, I do know there are parents that are not wise parents, okay? I know there are exceptions to the rule, don't get me wrong. I did not have perfect parents, okay? And I didn't hear a lot of wise advice as a teen, things just weren't really talked about. And I'm not dissing my parents. I'm just saying if they don't know, then they can't teach you, right? So, but in general, like, I want to give my kids the best advice I possibly can. So what we see is he's a king, he's older, he's remembering what his mom taught him before, and it's wise advice. Remember, we started this study. We want to hear God's voice the loudest, and we want to be wise. We don't want to be a fool or wicked, right? Okay, so Here's what his mother taught him. What are you doing, my son? What are you doing, son of my womb? What are you doing, son of my vows? Okay, so that right there tells us that his mama dedicated him to the Lord, whether it was in public or just in her own heart. She made a vow to the Lord to teach him godly wisdom, to teach him about the Lord and how much he's loved. Do we do that as parents, as grandparents, as friends? Are we vowing to the Lord that we will tell others about the grace and the gift that is available because of Jesus? Okay, but then we turn, and she's, verses 3 through 9, she says things like, do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. Did anybody else dig into that? Because here's what I found. Do not give your strength to women. If it was Solomon, his strength was in his hair long, and she cut it off, and anyway, maybe what Mama was trying to say is she knew he was going to become a king. Don't listen to other people and their advice. Don't listen to women and their advice. Don't be led astray by these women who are the fornicators, the prostitutes, the sex before marriage, the bedazzled, come to me, you know what I'm saying? She's warning him against sexual sin and fornication. That's all there is to it, right? But then don't give your ways to those who destroy kings. She's talking about wine and getting drunk. Clearly, she probably had the discussion on when you get drunk and you drink too much, you lose your brain power. You say things and do things you wouldn't normally do. You forget things that you should be remembering. So we see she's giving him good advice. She's prioritizing what God prioritizes, and she's teaching her child that. Okay, so let's go to the tough part. The woman in verses 10 through 31. Remember the cool thing I told you last week? Of each of the 22 verses, they start with a letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It'd be like A, B, C, D, E, F, but it's in the Hebrew alphabet. It's a poem. It's an acrostic poem, which is crazy because when you read this, it makes sense. And I don't know about you, but trying to make a poem talking about this with our alphabet, I couldn't do it. I mean, how crazy cool is that? But we look at page 198 in our book, and I underlined, instead of wasting her time, this woman in Proverbs 31, instead of wasting her time with outward adornment, Proverbs 31 tells us a bit about her wardrobe. Do you see what her wardrobe is? Check out verse 25. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. Now, wait, what? Okay, just touching a wee bit on this verse. Clothing is something you put on, right? So she's having to remember every morning to put on strength and dignity. Well, where does strength and dignity come? Well, we've learned it's from the Lord. So does that mean that she's rising up early in the morning and she's asking the Lord, Lord, be my strength and my dignity today. Help me make wise decisions. Lead me in your ways. That's my thought. But I'm gonna say the key to this woman who's in Proverbs 31, the key to her success is in verse 30. She's a woman who fears the Lord. That's what it boils down to. Did you read through verses 10 through 31 and have anything that made you feel icky? Or how about anything that you were like, oh, yes, oh my gosh, because that she's clothed in strength and dignity, that for me was like I want that. I want to be able to say that I'm clothed in strength and dignity, and I can laugh at things to come. What that means is you're not laughing like an idiot, like a hyena. You're not, ignoring the fact that life has difficulties. What you're doing is, instead of choosing fear and worry and letting that get worse and worse and worse in your brain, your body, you're choosing to trust the Lord, knowing that you never know what's going to come. I mean, hard times always come. We know that. And so she's choosing instead to focus on the good, focus on the grace, focus on the Lord, and the fact that He's good and has good plans for her, and He's got this. I'm not saying that's easy by any means, right? I'm just kind of looking at my notes here. Oh, okay. So, just some of my notes. Being a virtuous woman or a woman of valor begins with the right priorities. Nourishing a personal relationship with the Lord. Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness," right? So that's what we're doing here. We're nourishing a personal relationship with the Lord by digging deeper because we want to hear His voice. So we're in His Word, right? But also, this profile of this woman, this profile given is more of an ideal. It's an example of full-scale virtue and wisdom towards which the faithful are willing to be molded. Not any one woman we will ever meet will completely look like this woman in this chapter 100%. Is it something that we'd love to attain and to be? And sure, but don't let it stress you out that you aren't all the things. Because remember, that's not what this is about. This mama, go with me here. This mama has given her son wise advice, knowing he's going to want a woman in his life down the road. He's going to want to marry a woman. What are you going to tell your kid, your son? Don't we want what's best for our boys? So we're going to be like, make sure she's this, make sure she's this. Oh, and she's got to, and we're going to tell all these things. She's just giving, it's all wise stuff. Okay, but she's painting a picture of a perfect woman. I'm sure she knew that no perfect woman exists, right? But she's planting in his brain to look for godly things, because the key is a woman who fears the Lord, right? So this isn't even a to-do list, a checklist. She's not telling her son, don't marry anybody or get with a woman unless she's all these things. Nope. That's not what she's saying. She has high expectations and wants what's best for her son. And so if the Lord's speaking to us, don't you think He wants what's best for us as well? And He already gave us His best, Jesus. So we can try and grow and be better and be this woman of valor, but don't let it condemn you. Don't let the enemy say, oh, you're not these things, because that's not what it was meant for. Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for good, to give you a future and a hope." Turn to page 202 in our study guide. When I read this whole page, what stood out to me is she says, worry is praying to yourself. And I went, what? No, it is not. I was a little, kind of the frustration, like, yeah, no, that's not true. But I read it again. And I read it slowly, and I kind of was like, okay, hey, Lord, speak to me in this. Show me, what is she actually trying to say? And then it came to me. It's easy to say don't fear and don't worry when there's nothing going on to worry about. When you're in a situation where there's worry, that's when we have to figure out, how do we put it into practice? And the Lord was kind enough to allow that to happen. Yet another thing that happened yesterday. Found out that we no longer have health insurance. So, and that's a big one. My husband had a heart attack. He takes meds every day. We don't have the money to pay for the meds in cash, right? I'm instantly worried. Instantly went into this tense, anxiety, panic-stricken, oh no, what do I do? And then guess what came to mind? Oh, the Bible study. So it kind of clicked. The more we worry, the more we get worried, and the more we get fearful, and the more we get anxiety, and we can't breathe, and our focus is on, how can we fix this, right? That's pride. And we have learned that we need to be humble and not prideful. When we focus on worry, okay, it gets worse. But also, do we really think that by worrying we can make things better? By worrying, we're going to change the outcome? Sometimes when we worry about stuff, it doesn't even happen, right? So we've worried for no reason. I think the key to this, what she's saying is, when you rehearse this worry and this fear over and over in your head, you are forgetting to take it to the Lord. You think somehow you can change this on your own thing, when really we need to be stopping, taking our worries to the Lord and saying, admitting, we're worried. Hey, this is stressful. I don't know what I'm going to do. Can you help out? What should I do? Lead me in this thing. Give me your peace that passes understanding. I need to be able to breathe. I need to be able to think. See? Do you see what I mean? We're keeping our eyes on the Lord instead of on ourselves. And I think that's what she meant. Worry, it's like you're praying to yourself because you're not praying to the Lord. I want to go all the way back to page 6. I know that seems silly, but page 6 in our Bible study. Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24 are written there. It was right at the beginning. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. God knows. He sees us. Are we choosing to talk to him about the things that worry us and trusting him with it? Being humble, knowing that we don't have the power to do anything. As a matter of fact, every breath in our lungs comes from the Lord. Or are we choosing to trust in ourselves and our worry and our fear, thinking we can make it better? Yeah, so that kind of hit home. One of the things that I noticed in this woman of noble character, of valor and majesty, is her confidence as she faces the unknown of tomorrow, of next month, of 10 years from now. As a matter of fact, Sherry says on that very same page, page 202, it's not an arrogance or pride in herself, but rather she trusts fully in the Lord to meet her needs. Okay, so if we're talking about, like, for me and the insurance thing, the Lord's going to meet my needs. So instead of worrying, maybe I could get a piece of paper and a pencil and start writing down some ideas as to how could I go about finding insurance? What should I do? Maybe, just brainstorming and maybe looking into those ideas. Maybe stopping for a minute and being quiet because maybe the Lord has an idea and he'll just plop it into my brain and it'll come to me. I don't know. But because she's trusting fully in the Lord to meet her needs, she doesn't have time to fear lesser things because she devotes herself to fearing the Lord. And that's beautiful. But I have to be honest, it's hard. And I think that's where the honesty and bravery and majesty and valor comes in. We are in complete awe and wonder of the Lord, and we know that he can help, and he does have a plan. And because we love him, we know that plan is for good. So we need to be seeking him and talking to him and working this through with him. Sometimes it's a struggle, it's a wrestle to get that panic and fear and worry gone, because there's a lot worse things than just worrying about health insurance. I know that every one of us here knows. We don't even have to start listing. We already know because we each have our own that's a lot worse. I mean, that's not the worst. You know what I'm saying? But maybe the Lord allows the little tiny worries so that we can practice. Because to get better at something, you have to practice it. And I would think the wicked and the fool would be excited to practice worry and fear constantly about everything. Where the wise, they want to practice not being fearful, right? And I think the only way to do that is to go to the Lord. In brutal honesty, sometimes on our knees in tears, he's not going to judge us for worrying. He gave us our emotions, right? Maybe sometimes our worry actually is kind of a neon light to warn us of something, right? I'm just saying, when you come to something in God's word where you want to skip it, or it makes you mad, or you're like, whatever, or it's simple, you don't understand it, and you're like, I don't get it. We have a few choices. Move on, ignore it, pretend it's not there, or dig a little deeper, talk to the Lord, find some friends that are Bible believers and are willing to dig in as well, and maybe see what can we get out of this. Because remember, the inductive Bible study, where we need to read things in the context of where and when they were written. And I want to let you guys know, in case you don't know this. Kiki says her grandma used to say, when talking about marriage, that every pot has the perfect cover. There are covers that may fit well, but there's only one perfect cover for that specific pot. That's cute. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I like that. Wow, now I'm thinking of my pots and pans, how I have two pots that don't have lids, and the pan lid that I use is way too big. I mean, it kind of works, it makes a little bit of a mess when you're boiling. Anyway, yeah. I had, well, phew, squirrel. Okay. 1 Peter 3, 1-6. I want to read something to you. It's in my notes. All of this, woman of valor and majesty, whatever, it's also taught in very condensed form in 1 Peter 3, verses 1-6. And I'm just going to read it to you. And watch. I bet there might be something that you go, that makes you cringe. Maybe not, but sometimes that can happen. And we have to work through it. And we will. Hold on. All right. Wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wife, when they see the purity and reverence of your lives. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles, the wearing of gold jewelry, or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. For this is the way of the holy women of the past who put their hope in God. That's how they used to adorn themselves. You are her daughters if you do what is right and do not give way to fear. Oh. Now, that word submission, you might not like it, but I want you to just stop and think really quick. The biblical submission is this: protection, safety. It is like an umbrella in a thunderstorm, or not thunderstorm, a rainstorm, okay? You hold your umbrella, it keeps you dry. We'll just leave it at that and won't dig any deeper, but it's not this overbearing, horrible, it's being under for protection. It's loving. It's void of stubbornness. It's humble, okay? It's not prideful, I'm better than you, you will submit. No, it's a loving thing, like we are submitting to the Lord because we're trying to be more like Jesus. We want to be wise. We're submitting to the Lord. Oh, I know what I was going to say before the squirrel. In the time of where this was written, did you know that women were this big? Women were to stay home and have children, not to be seen, not to be heard, none of that. And the fact that this is written, it is the Lord seeing women, celebrating women because they love him. We have different qualities, different strengths that come from the Lord, and when we use them, he's celebrating over us and asking us to celebrate over each other. I would, how do I say this? Wherever you find God's word in the world, you will find women free and liberated. Where God's word is not prevalent, you will find women at the bottom of the totem pole. In that day that this was written, women were not looked highly upon. So the fact that this is here is saying a lot. Jesus holds us just as, highly, and I can't believe I did that on camera, but that, there we go. See? Anything can happen. I don't have any boogers, do I? The Lord loves us. And even back then, he was trying to tell everybody that women hold just as special place in his heart as men do. This woman is choosing to work with her hands, teach her children, loving others. She is fearing the Lord. She's not worrying about what other people think, what she's going to wear. Her pride is gone. She's humble. She takes the time to help other people. She's her serenity. Yeah. Oh, no, high serenity. She's accepting grace and she's giving grace. So she's trying to live for God. And I think we have to read tough spots in the Bible that maybe are icky to us and take time to figure out why that's icky. And it may not be a 2-second dig into it. You might have to take an hour or two. But not everybody is the same, so not one woman is going to have all of this in one package. You might be somebody that works out of the home, and I might be somebody that works in the home. You might be somebody that teaches school, teaches other kids. teaches little kids stuff. And I might be one who is not good at teaching, but what I do is something different. But we come together like the Jewish people do, and the Lord does, and celebrate each other. Because what counts is this: we fear the Lord. Proverbs 31:30 is what counts. And I think that's where we're going to actually find our deep joy, our abundant joy, our true joy, no matter what's going on, in order to not be so focused on worry. Because no matter what happens, we know Jesus died for our sins, and we are dearly loved. Psalm 16:11, it says, in his presence is fullness of joy. So that deep soul rest and joy needs to come from him, and to do that, you got to be in his presence. How? Like what we're doing, reading his word, fellowship, fellowship isn't just hanging out and going rollerblading. Fellowship is hanging out, but you're also discussing God's goodness and his word, and praising him together that he's a good God. But again, in his presence, worship time, music, whether you're one that claps when you worship, or your hands are raised, your hands are in your pockets, you're worshiping the Lord. End of story. We're in his presence then too. Is there anything that you guys found that you want to share with each other here? I would love to hear it, because I've got so much that I could go on all day, and I know I should not. We have to eventually move on. I will say, though, I'm going to skip over day 3, the profile of the wicked. It goes from page 204 to 207 in our book, because I want you to read and do all that on your own, because the basics, we're looking at the wicked, and then that gives us a review as to what not to be. How do we even get there? And then there's a prayer for wisdom at the end, and I circled some of it, and it says this: Jesus, may we be among those found faithful, those who accept your words, even when they're hard. Store up your commands within us, because we know that they're loving. Listen closely to wisdom. Lord, be the loudest voice in our life. Direct our hearts to understanding, and may we seek wisdom like it's a treasure, because it is. Lord, help us to be wise. Give us grace when we are not. Help us to give grace to others when they are not, which is not always easy, because, again, we live in a world where there are mean people who don't even know they're being mean. And when you say, you hurt my feelings, you're being mean, they may be like, nah, I wasn't mean. Hard hearts. So let's stay soft, moldable, humble. Obviously, we're here, aren't we? So I'm preaching to the choir. But day 4 is the profile of the fool, and day 5 is the profile of the wise. So we'll go over those 2 next week. And then it would be really cool if you have found some favorite verses in Proverbs. Email them to me. Do I have my email in this? Let me just check really quick. Dawn at forgracecreations@yahoo.com. Yes. Email me some of your favorite verses and tell me why they're your favorites. Then maybe if you had some that you didn't really understand, send those to me as well. Because for the next couple weeks, after we go through the rest of our homework, obviously, I will be here. I will go over some verses. We will not start the Psalms for Life until fall. So we'll stick with wisdom until then. So obviously right now, our hashtag is Wisdom Wednesday. What do we keep that Wisdom Wednesday? Just, I need thoughts, opinions. Do we keep the hashtag Wisdom Wednesday so that, let's say there's a Wednesday that I know that I'm not going to be here, like I'm going to Yellowstone, and let's say you guys have a YouTube channel and you want to take a verse out of Proverbs and do the inductive Bible study where you read the verse, you look, I have to look at my notes here. You read and observe what's going on. Where's God from this? And then interpretation, the context and meaning from when it was written. Why was it written? Who was it written to? Check out commentaries, different Bible versions. How does it apply to our lives? And how can we apply it to our lives? Maybe you want to take a verse out of Proverbs and do that on your own channel using the hashtag Wisdom Wednesday. By all means, you can always do that. Just make sure it's something out of Proverbs. And I would say have other Bible verses from the Bible as your commentary and give those to people so people can look that up on their own. But do we keep it once we start Psalms for Life? Do we want to keep it Wednesdays at 11? Do we want to do a different time? Do we want to start a new hashtag called hashtag Psalms for Life? Just trying to brainstorm ideas with you guys. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are there. That's funny. Jeremiah 20. In the very back of my Proverbs book, I have Jeremiah 29:11. He's got big plans for us, and they're good. I wrote that in Arizona when going through some of this study with the author. How funny that we brought it up today. Trish, I have a question about Proverbs 31:18. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. Does this refer to pride or confidence? Not pride, because we are reading about a woman of noble character. So what we're reading is a woman who fears the Lord. So that must mean that she's humble and not proud. Maybe it means that she's at home, because remember, during those times, women, they weren't even educated, so it's not like they could go get a job. So she's doing things at home and sees what she's doing and thinks, oh, I could sell this and make a profit and help feed my kids, help pay the bills. I could buy some fresh fruit with it. We haven't had fresh fruit in weeks, you know. You never know what she was thinking, but she realizes that whatever she's got is worth something. She could sell it and make some money and help out the household. That's maybe that. Kiki, I don't know if I've gotten an email from you because I can't check it when I'm on here. Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking the email that I just read yesterday? I did read it. I haven't responded yet because, well, there's some poo that hit the fan yesterday. Not just the people were being mean. Realizing, are these people my friends? Because I caught you laughing at me. You think I didn't notice. No health insurance anymore. Why is this happening over here? Because now I'm stressed. All the things in one day. Anyway, so I didn't reply yet. I will reply. I will. I promise. But let's see. Her lamp does not go out at night. I see. I didn't really. Crafting whimsy. Trish, so you think that she knows what she does is worthy? I think she realizes that, imagine she's a junk journaler. And she's made a junk journal. And she realizes, I could sell this. I think she realizes that she has made things that are profitable. She could sell them and help the household. But she also doesn't just help her own household. She sells what she makes and she helps other people. But this thing about her lamp does not go out at night. I don't know about y'all, but I don't sleep with a nightlight anymore. Do you think that's what it's talking about? Her lamp does not go out at night. Let me, for instance, I'm going to grab a different version. This is the NIV. And what 31:18, let's just, not Psalm, Proverbs. Okay. 31, glasses. Oh, that's so much better. 31:18, she sees, this is a different version. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. Okay, so there's notes in the bottom of my Bible, and it says this. This woman is industrious, seeking out provision for her family. She provides extra income and wisely invests her profits. So, her lamp does not go out at night. I just thought of something, guys. Who is our lamp? Okay, there's a song. I have a light, and it always shines. It shines in the day, and it shines in the night. I have a light. Who is our light? The Bible says Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, but he is the light of life. So maybe what it's talking about there is that even when she lays down at night and the worries show up and the fears show up and the problems of the day are rolling through her head, her light does not go out. She remembers Jesus. She remembers that God's got this. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. Maybe it's that. I don't have a commentary here next to me. It's in my dining room. We could look it up. Should I do that or no? You want me to grab a commentary and look up this? She perceives her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. I could do that. I'm willing. You let me know. I'm looking. Here it says a little bit of something about she's willing to use her spare time and energy into making things she can sell and trade, which means she found her creativity in her own way. You know, because we each have our own thing, our own creative. You might make wind chimes and I might make painted rocks, but she uses those things to trade, to help out and bring in more food. I don't know. Trish, no? Okay. Oh, my glasses are yucky. Does anybody have any praise reports? Other than, like, again, Margie does, she got her back surgery, which, to me, that's not a surgery, doesn't sound fun, but obviously she needed it, so it is a praise report, because I know her doctor was kind of making her wait because he was saying she needs to lose more weight. Sometimes I want to go, oh, duh, doctor, like they don't want to help because we're a pound overweight. Okay, you go lose that pound, buddy, and I'll try and lose a pound too. Anyway, it's easier said than done. Anyway. So her praise report would be that she got surgery. I'm assuming it went well. Yeah. My protein shake instead of coffee. And because I didn't eat breakfast. So praise reports. Anybody have a praise report? Well, I have one. I asked the Lord to help me figure out where that boundary line is of you cannot be disrespectful and mean to me, but grace. And I do think I figured it out. Grace, always. Bitterness, never. Forgiveness, always. But you don't have to allow people to continually treat you horrible. If they do, and it just is a continual thing, then maybe we need to step back and choose not to be in spaces like that. And that is okay. But not holding a grudge. And I actually have I have a piece about that has to be from the Lord. My eyes are open. I see that it's off and on, but it's not continual every day all the time, but it happens often. So I know to step back, but also give grace and love. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Anyway, praise report for crafting with Trish. My estranged cousins have started speaking to each other. Oh, that's huge because, yay, that's good. Yay. In Jewish, yes, Kiki, I knew you'd know this. In Jewish tradition, there's always a lamp on, especially in the temple. It's called the eternal flame because God is there. Exactly. And I wonder if that's a little bit about what it is. I don't know, because we have that eternal flame in us. Okay, prayer needs. Prayer needs. Prayer needs over health insurance for us, for taxes, for finances. Yeah. And we can keep praying for your cousins. That's whenever restoration happens, isn't that beautiful to witness? It's just amazing. So I'm going to go, but when the video turns off, you can still type comments. If you have not put a prayer need in, maybe because you can't really think about one right now, and you think of something like in 2 hours, come back. I do check this to see, because what if on Monday next week you have a prayer need? You can come back here and type it in, and we can all be keeping an eye out on this one until, maybe Tuesday evening of next week to see, are there prayer needs? Are there praise reports? That would be, I don't know, that'd be a great idea. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for going through the study, even though there is some tough stuff in Scripture. It is not always easy, but what we have to remember is this. It is not about rules and regulations and have to and condemnation. It is about love and peace and grace and faith and Jesus who died on that cross because God knew we could never be perfect. So don't stop when you find something that's uncomfortable. Dig deeper. And if you don't know how or where, you can always shoot me an email and I will see if I can find where to point you. And if I can't, I will ask those who are more knowledgeable if they have ideas. And again, don't take anything that people say for granted. Always be like the Bereans and search your scriptures. If you can search your scriptures daily, that would be even better. Don't take at face value the words that I say or that other people say. Dig into the Bible yourself. If you can, choose 2 different versions because they might help you kind of grasp what something means better. So, thank you guys. And I hope you have a lovely, lovely week. I'm going to go potty, and then I'm going to get a snack because I'm telling you, these things are not very good. Premier protein drink? No. I'm going to go get a hard-boiled egg. Bye, guys.